Hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to the channel and our second look at Farming Expert 2016. I know it's hard to believe 2016 already, but Houston, we have a problem. Look at that, eh? One thing I have noticed, I've done a percentage, I think about 35 to 40% of the field here. I have plowed it, and I noticed when you're on this steep downhill side, when you get to the end, even at full brakes, it creeps ahead a little bit, so be very careful. I remember having that trouble harvesting on this on Professional Farmer 2014, because you'd stop your harvester to unload it into the trailer, and you had to sort of hope it unloaded before your harvester finished skidding past the trailer. So we're going to climb back in here. And yeah, you can see right away it's creeping backwards. You can even see it registering an RPM and a mile an hour very, very slowly. So, but with that said, let's get up here, drop the plow. We are at what? Let's have a look. If I hit F2, it'll take me to current field info. We have 40% plowed. There you go. So let's drop the plow and see if we can't get her up a little above. Now the other thing I've noticed, look at that side of the field where it's plowed and see what the texture actually is when I plow. It's a little bit different animal, let me tell you. So very much like they did in Professional Farmer 14, where you could make all these basically horrible plow lines or cultivating lines or whatever you were doing. It makes it really hard to see where I've not gone, though, I'll tell you that. You could do that, and then you would go away, and when you came back to the field, it was perfect. All nice straight lines, etc., etc. Apparently they're still doing that. They've kind of leveled out the texture from the plowing. But unfortunately, as I said, it makes it really hard for me to tell where I'm actually supposed to be plowing. So this isn't going to be the best one. So what I learned from that is, if you're going to start a field, now I didn't want to show plowing the whole field, because as you can see, it's not like we go fast. But yeah, I guess if you're going to start a field, finish it. Otherwise you may have a section where you stopped where you really can't tell where you should be going, which is sort of where I am now. And yes, very much like Pro Farmer 14 and of course its predecessors, agricultural simulators, you do very much feel that plow on the back of the tractor, unlike Farm Sim. And I love the backup camera because I can get this plow right to... there we go. Then lift her up. I wonder how the donut shop feels about me running this right in their yard. I guess they don't have a real choice, do they? Let's flip it over. Now I know in Pro Farmer, on the at least this early campaign / tutorial, they didn't really make you do them. Now see the difference here? And you've got your deep last tread. If you put your tire in it though, it doesn't seem to quite line up, so I found you got to be a little above it. But yeah, you can see the texture difference from what you're actually doing to what it decided it would look like when it was done, type of thing. So let's drop our plow again. We're now up to 48%. Wow, that one row gave us 8%. Or no, 3%. I'm sorry. We were at 40. 45 or 40? I don't even remember now. Like, there's a great shock, yeah. But again, I do like that. Really do like that backup camera. What a nice feature. So yeah, hopefully they do straighten up the issue with the sliding, because that really, that was kind of bothersome in Pro Farmer, and they kind of promised they'd fix it up. They even said in the patch they released that they'd addressed the driving physics, but it never seemed to clear it up completely. So let's hope they do this time. You'll notice, well, I guess you won't, because I'm not out of the tractor, but if I do get out of the tractor, yeah, my character will not start running for the horizon with no way to stop him. And I did go to the Steam forum, and the developer did say they would look into the issue. So Yeah. I've also noticed if you try and start the game in anything, like if you have the resolution set to anything other than the native resolution or your desktop resolution, I guess, to be more accurate, the game starts windowed. And it'll actually open windowed, like ready to play when you click on your career and all that. It'll also crash every single time. So even though I upload in 720p, I'm going to have to record in 1080p and then compress the files. I don't really have any other choice, which means my rendering process, is going to take longer when that's sort of unnecessary that it do that. And of course, if it reaches a certain point, it means I get to do less videos because I've got to spend all this time rendering. So, I'm not too happy about that. But yeah, it causes a crash if it tries to load the game in the window, and it's not the same resolution as your desktop. I did not turn this, did I? No, I did not. Alright. So it actually looks like they're going to make us do a large percentage of this field. That's okay, I guess. More realism. Alright, let's drop the plow. And go, man, go. So far, kind of liking the game. It seems alright. Like I said, it has some issues, but it is just released. And I think pretty much the way Playway does their betas is basically they hand it out to a bunch of European, game reviewers, etc., and let them play around with the betas. I don't think we ever get our hands on them until it is a full release, which is kind of too bad. They don't like to squash a few more bugs before they throw it up there. I mean, come on, have they never played Game Dev Tycoon? Don't they know you gotta wait till all the little red bubbles have finished popping? Good Lord. Yeah, you're like, oh, I tell you, you're a professional game developer. Why, I've played Game Dev Tycoon, come on. Yeah, this is what I'd said in the first episode about the payoffs not being very big because your time investment was huge in this game. And this is the sort of thing I mean. In Farm Sim 15, I could have simply hired a worker to do this. Now, I won't be surprised if I can, once we're out of the tutorial part of the career. Again, I'll be able to hire a worker. But of course, it doesn't work quite the same way either. The worker doesn't actually come out to the farm and do any work. So that's something I'm going to be curious to see, whether they've actually gone with more of a farming simulator type of response to AI workers or not, because that really took a lot of the immersion out. It was basically you hired your worker, you clicked plowed, you clicked what field you wanted him to plow, and then the job was done. You paid out your sum of cash, etc., and that was it. The job was finished, and say no more, carry on, next task. Hire your workers, send them out there, get them to do it, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, not kind of the same way they handled the livestock. You just basically bought them, held on to them long enough, and then sold them at hopefully a profit, right? Now, I know near the end of it, they did get the last, not DLC, but I guess you'd say patch that they added, allowed you to actually move on a little bit with things like silage and such to provide for your cows. But other than providing food, there was nothing else, and you could buy that as easily as produce it, and within a range to make a profit. So most people that were getting any distance in the game, like who were getting, to the point where they had all the top equipment and stuff, I noticed that was pretty much the deal. Is much like Ag Sim 2012, you would simply, buy yourself 10,000 rabbits. Although in the case of Pro Farmer, it was, X number of ducks, etc. And then simply sell them as soon as they were of age. And you would then advance time, like buy a bunch more advanced time and sell them. Until you had enough money to actually go out and do some real farming. So yeah, very much like Ag Sim 12, if you had the right add-ons for the game. How are we doing here? 63. Whoa, I'm falling in the hole. 63%, eh? Alrighty. I was hoping they'd be in tutorial, they'd let us go home early here, because I kind of thought we'd like to get, you know, 1 or 2 stages in. And good. Whoop. Let's raise her up. And get her turned around. Oops. Finger slipped off the wheel there for a minute. Now I gotta come all the way back inside. Here we go. There we are. I don't know if I really like this new field they do. It almost looks like you're driving up on something that's raised a foot off the ground. You know, which again is better than some of the planes I've seen them use. Oh, there's one of the balloons going by, where you could actually see the layers between the plane when you were at the edge of the field. You could see the layer between the cultivation and the plow, etc., etc. Yeah. So it appears what they've actually done here is they sort of have this raised mass, and you change the shape of the depressions in it. Well, of course, you also get rid of the any sort of leftover chappy foliage crud on the top, but yeah. I am looking forward to seeing what assets this game has, you know, I really am. It has basically crap reviews on Steam. If you go to the store page and have a look, the reviews, I believe it might have made it to mixed by now, but I think other than that, it's all pretty much, you know. And of course, there's the usual huge mass of detractors who, most of whom don't own the game, but oh no, don't waste your money, just buy Farm Sim, blah 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 blah. That's not why companies put other games out. This is really, in reality, it's nothing like Farming Simulator, other than the fact that you use farm equipment and you do drive up and down fields. Beyond that, they are quite different. They play completely different. You know, this is a much more slower, hands-on sort of version. Again, it almost, even though we are getting further away from it with all the mods for FS15, it kind of makes FS15 a little bit arcadey, you know. And hey, that's good. These guys have got to find a way, you know, to separate themselves in a market which, you know, let's face it, FS15 is going to dominate, you know. And if they're not willing to do mod support, they've pretty much cut their own throats to start, right at the start. So they really are going to have to offer something else that's going to make people go, hey, you know, I own FS15, but this is a really good addition because I can do this and this and this, which I can't do in Farm Sim. So, now, I mean, I bought it blind because, well, because I run this channel. And I thought those of you who would look at it and go, boy, I wonder if it's any good, might appreciate getting to see a little bit of it. You know, that's kind of what us YouTube producers are out here to do. At least a lot of us that are gaming producers are anyway. You know, be able to say, hey, this is the sort of thing we usually like to play, but is this particular one worth your time? And more importantly, worth your money? You know, I'd like to be one of the YouTube producers who gets all these games for free, because then I could really show you which ones were good and which ones weren't, but I have to be a little picky. Again, being on a disability pension is not exactly the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Of course, working life wasn't exactly a rainbow either, so I suppose not expecting it to be a pot of gold at the end, it really should have come natural, you know. They're really going to work us for this whole field, aren't they? Or did I just miss the thing that said, hey, dummy, good enough, go home? Because I don't think I did. I don't see any, like, blue arrows going, this way, home is this way. So it looks like they're going to make us actually do the entire field. Well, good for them. It kind of felt a little bit cheap there in Pro Farmer when they, you know, you'd get 62% through and they go, okay, pack it in. You know, go ahead. Oops, it's not G. See the tractor rolling forward? Yeah. I'm holding the reverse, or the brake key. It's not reverse, of course, because you have to shift the transmission on this. But I'm actually holding the brake key. And and it still will creep forward. Like the brakes won't overcome it, the mere weight of the tractor is sliding it down the hill. So like I say, I can only imagine once we slam a harvester on here what we're going to be dealing with. Because it outweighs this tractor by many, many, many times. And they tend to be a little bit... Did I not drop that? No, I did not. Alright. Again, thank you for the rear camera. I'm looking and I'm going, hey, there ain't no furrows, man. Yeah, I like that. Okay. See, and there we go. We're at the edge. Shift back. Now let's drop her down. Beautiful. And I'm being dragged down the hill, darn it. Oddly enough, though, even though I didn't have it drop down, you'll notice it started filling in the little ditch from the edge of the plow. It's a little weird. Maybe it was doing it because I drove my tractor tire through it. I'm not sure. Kind of interesting, though. What are we at here? 76%? I don't know, man. The edge of that field looks a lot closer than 25% of the way off. You know, I'm thinking we've done 7/8 of the field, not 3/4. Oh, alright, 5/8. Oh, look, and we have. Okie dokie, come on. I like that. I like that backup camera. That is so handy. Personally, I think on a car, they're just absolute dumbness, but I can see on something like this where really 90% of what you're doing is more concerned with the things behind you than it is the things in front of you. So, yeah, I can see it here. And boy, oh boy, it is nice. You've got to be continuously spinning around in the chair and looking out the back window to make sure everything's where it should be. Especially when things like this, coming up to the edge of the field. That's perfect. Just wait till the tire hits the edge. Bumpity bump. And lift her up, and you're plowed right to the edge of the field. Give her a little rotatey. Whee! And do it right at the right time, and flip the tractor and plow completely upside down. Yes, indeed. Wow. You know, I really thought we'd get to do more than this today here, guys. Sorry about that if the plowing's a little on the dullish side for you. Unfortunately, unlike Farm Sim 15, we don't have 700 things we're allowed to go and do right now at the moment. So, we'll have to go with what we can go with. I really expected them to kick us off this field by now. But that does not appear to be the case. Although, actually, let's cruise to a halt here. Let's hit the M key and have a look at our tutorial. Making the field ready. Okay, that doesn't really tell me if we've done it or not. So, well, let's just carry on. I guess we are going to plow the end. If we get to the other edge, or you know, where it says like 98% or 100%, depending on how good we are. If we get there and it still doesn't tell us to do something other than plow the field, then I'll just take the plow back and we'll grab the cultivator. You know, sort of assume maybe that's what they'd want us to do. They may not. The next, well, I guess they might add plow the field and cultivate the field under preparing the field. So I suppose it will be, because I see the next thing is called crops. You know, I don't think that would be cultivating the field. I think that would be planting, or possibly even harvesting. Who knows? I didn't notice if fertilizer was in there anywhere. And we are to the end of another row, 84%. Holy smokes. They are going to get us to do the whole field, aren't they? Beautiful. And yeah, you do fight the wheel almost constantly. So again, good added level of realism compared to their competitors. So that's something they can... Well, there you are. You can drive back home now. Well, there you are. We didn't miss it, guys. They were just making sure we truly knew what we were doing this time. Yes, indeed. So let's turn our plow. And I'm thinking since we do gotta go that way anyway. Oop. That would be a different field. Here we are. I mean, we're only, what, 2 strips away? So, I'll just do the up the hill strip here. And then we'll continue on. And they would likely just going to tell us to go get a cultivator anyway. Alright, the plow's down. Let's go. Yeah, I do like this. This is a very immersive way to do the farming, I gotta admit. So yeah, if you like the farming games, this might be something, again, it's under $20, you know. Now granted, again, I did buy the DLC, and something I forgot to mention. Now, Day 1 paid DLC kind of pisses everybody off, because quite frankly, it's one of those things where you go, well, you know, why didn't you just put it in the game? Now, sometimes, granted, a game is finished at a point where you don't need things like, you know, maybe most of your artists and stuff, you're just dealing with bug squashers and coders, you know, so maybe you can get them to put something else out. You know, that's about the only pro argument for it. Well, it wasn't ready when the game was. It was ready by the time it was released, but blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't mention, and I guess I really should have, and I'm not sure, maybe we can do this. Are you going to stop? I took my fingers off an hour ago here, boy. Stop. See, it's still creeping forward 200 RPM. Maybe that's because of that transmission. It's either always in forward or always in reverse. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at our map button. Let's look at our map button. And let's go to vehicles, because I'm wondering if we can have a quick look at one of these shops. Petrol station, bank, machine store. If I click on it, is it? No, it's not, eh? Aw, that's too bad. So I was kind of hoping that it would allow us to, animals, buildings, maybe? No. No, I guess it's just not going to. I was hoping we'd be able to see an actual list of what building, or what vehicles there were. Because, although I was, as usual, quick to whine about the fact that there was paid DLC on day of release, what I didn't mention, and I really should, and, you know, as a gaming YouTube producer type dude, I kind of owe it to my audience to do so. What I didn't mention was there was other DLC that came absolutely free, and it was sort of one of these old tractory type package things, as near as I can tell. I mean, I haven't actually seen what's in the pack. So, but that was also offered up and absolutely free as Day 1 DLC, unpaid. So, I guess, you know, in the long run, what the heck, right? It certainly takes the sting off the paid DLC, because you don't have to have it to play the game. It's simply, yeah, I can't drive through there, man. There's a fence. Right, it's, like I said, it adds a fruit, I think like a factory or something like that. A place you can drop fruit off anyway to be processed. And the ability to harvest fruit. I would assume plant and harvest, some method or other. So, they're like, yeah, I hate that farmer, man. He always goes through his drive-through with that big plow and stuff. It just terrifies my customers. Hey, has anybody established what country we're in? I haven't really stopped to figure it out. I don't know. It's not, the buildings and such don't really look all that North American, but they're not really as, let's hop out of here, not really as kind of, you know, distinctly European as the last maps were either, where they could actually distinguish, and did by releasing an American DLC for Pro Farmer, that they were in fact, where was it, they were in the last one, France or something? I don't remember. But, okay, I assume they would like us now to lower the plow, put the plow back. Alright, well, we can do that. Let's, over there is good for you. Okie dokie. That's good for me too. So let's throw her into reversa mundo. And just like using the shuttle in FS15, we still use the W key to drive us backwards. Alright. That should be it. There we go. That looks like a good spot, doesn't it? Let's get rid of the annoying beeping. And let's lower it down and drop it off. Oh, I know I'm not in a field. Well, am I not allowed to drop it here or what? No, I definitely haven't raised it. Or dropped it, I mean. Oh, I haven't gone back enough? Is that your problem? Can be fussy, are we? Apparently not. Okay. I pressed the wrong button. So what, is it not Q to set it down? Apparently not, eh? How do I unattach it? Attachment down. Rotate. Change direction. R? No, that's load it down. That's change direction. I was sure it was Q to detach it. Why will it not let me? 20,000 euros, loans taken out, fields owned, areas owned. Cows, ducks, okay, that tells us all of that. F2, F1. It still doesn't tell me how I could drop my plow. Why does Q not do it? E is get out, there's not any of those. No, that reverses direction. X, nope. V, nope. Well, why can I not drop my plow? It is Q. Well, that's kind of what I thought. Well, why will it not let me drop the plow? Come on. Lower it down, will you let me drop it? There we go. Alright. Ay. That's being a bit stupid for the tutorial, I think, to be honest with you. You know, time to cultivate the fields. Oh, goody. Alright, well, we kind of knew that was the next step, didn't we? So... wow. Their little info thing certainly... likes to mess with the frame rate. Oh, good thing they gave us such a tiny plow. Or cultivator, I should say. Drive to the field. Alrighty, well that's... oh, smokes. Oh right, it doesn't go right inside right away. That messes me up when it jumps to the back of the tractor on the second C. I'm so used to there being just the two and then the scroll wheel. Alright, well I think we're going to find that the cultivating goes much the same. as the plowing did. So we'll stick around here for one run, and then I will do the other 88% off camera, and we'll see what our next task will be. Although I would think it's likely going to be seeding. Ooh, we're down to less than... we've got less than half a tank of fuel as well. So we're not going to be able to do this completely a second time. Obviously, right? If it took over half a tank of fuel to do the field the first time, then we're not going to be able to get it done a second time. So, yeah, you see the textures have changed on the field? Yeah, it looks all kind of smoothied. So, let's get into position. Alright, let's lower it down. And go, go, go. Let's see what sort of texture change the cultivator will give us. Huh. It would appear that it gives us the nice cultivated lines. Lovely. Let's go to the other display on our field monitor here. There we are, 91% plowed, 1% cultivated. Whoa. She's really tail heavy. I would think that once given the opportunity, buying a weight may be in order. So I think what we're going to do next time, guys, I'm going to run a couple of rows here, and when I get down to about a quarter tank, I figure I'm on a third now, I'll stop. And when we come back next time around, we'll go hunt down a gas station. Because I should be able to get a large portion of the field done before I get to the critical part of needing gas here. But by the same token, it's going to take me probably another 15 or 20 minutes of playtime. Now, I would normally just pause the video and come back when it was done, but for some reason lately, every time I do that, my audio and my video are way, way out of sync. And other than cutting chunks out of one or the other, there doesn't seem to be a way to get it back in sync. Like, even though I can move the tracks around on my timelines and stuff in my editor, it's, I don't know, it's something strange. There we go. Let's raise it up. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, that smooths it out. And you see we're still drifting forward because it's the bottom of the hill again, but there you go. Alright, so I think that's going to do it, guys, for this episode. We got to have a little bit of a look at some of the plowing and how it's done, and a little bit of a look at some of this. And like I say, next episode, since we have to go and buy gas, maybe we'll take a little extra trip over to the vehicle shop and see what sort of vehicle selections there are. Alright, let's get you dropped down. Woo, I'm sliding backwards. And get a cultivating. Lovely. Okay, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button. If you feel like leaving some comments down below, that's always appreciated. And, well, above all, take care of each other, folks. This has been Species 7, having another look at Expert Farmer, or Farming Expert, as it were. What are they going to do for 2017? You ever think about that? They went from Professional Farmer to Expert Farmer. You know, are we going to be like Farming Master Race? I don't know. Anyway, till next time, take care of each other, folks, and ciao for now. Alright, cultivate, boy, cultivate.